please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. As required by Section 84-1412, subsection 8 of the Nebraska statutes, notice is hereby given that a copy of the Opens Meeting Act is posted for your examination on the wall inside the door to the City Council chambers. Before we have roll call, I'd just like to welcome all of our guests this evening. Could we have roll call, please?
Anderson,
Here.
Klein,
Here.
Shepherd,
Here.
Graves,
Here.
Alexi.
Here.
Could we have a motion to approve the agenda?
I move to approve the agenda.
Second that.
Motion by Clay, second by Shane, to approve the agenda. Could we have roll call, please?
Anderson,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Shepherd,
Yes.
Graves,
Yes.
Alexi.
Yes.
Could we have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll move to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second that.
Motion by Kevin, seconded by Mark. Approve the consent agenda. It includes minutes from the City Council meeting on March 3rd, minutes from the September 25th, 2024 problem resolution team meeting are attached, and the minutes of the March 10th, 2025 Citizen Advisory Review Committee are attached. We have a monthly water report, special designated licenses that were administratively approved, which is the Ridge for the Chadron Community Hospital Employees Reception at the Dawes County Fairgrounds on March 21st. And Fire Department membership update, which is showing 44 active members as of the February 2025 meeting. Could we have roll call, please?
Anderson,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Shepherd,
Yes.
Graves,
Yes.
Alexi.
Yes.
Item B on the agenda, introduction of a new street maintenance operator.
Good evening, Council. Dustin Glass, Street Supervisor, 1013 East Niobrara, and I'd like to introduce my new street maintenance operator, Dustin Tigas, and he can come up and talk to you guys.
Could you wear these while you're not doing them?
Sure.
I'll do it.
I'll do it. I would not submit to such requests from a member of the City Council.
I'll be a good sport.
I'll be a sport.
Well, tell us about yourself.
Stuff like that before.
All right, I'm Dustin Tigas. I live up on 960 East Niobrara, right next to the street shop. From Crawford originally.
So are you a lifelong resident of Chadron, or
So far,
so far?
we'll see how it goes. I like it so far. So
Okay. Well, I'm sure that you'll keep busy. Do you find the work challenging and interesting?
it's pretty fun so far.
Well, good.
Good.
Nothing too challenging.
Well, I'm sure this summer when we get in and going full bore on doing some street work, I know you're working on them now, but
Yeah, we're doing a little bit
Probably,
now.
yeah.
So
Dustin, you're supposed to be saying we're working super hard.
yeah, we're working really hard. All right.
Well, very good.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's for the next person.
Nobody will go there.
Item C on the agenda There's a report from Deb Cottier. Deb is out of town attending a funeral. And so anyone have any questions that we have we have the president of NNDC here that could answer questions if you want to review the.
Yeah, I don't have
The
the
update.
report from Deb. I think she provided that
Yes,
to
we did, yeah.
everybody. I think she
Yeah.
emailed me on that.
Yeah.
But she asked me to come on behalf of NNDC for the
Okay.
grant approval.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, we'll get right into that as the next agenda item. So, if no one has any questions, Deb's report was pretty well self-explanatory. The hour being 6:05 we will open a public hearing to consider an application submitted by the Northwest Nebraska Development Corporation for LB 840 Economic Development Funds to contract an economic development marketing firm to deliver a new website design, build and host that website, and provide full-service marketing assistance for a 24-month period. You're up.
Oh, and so I am Drew Pope. I am the recently appointed, elected president for NNDC. Deb wanted to be here, but she couldn't, and so asked if I'd be able to fill in for her. So she provided me some notes as far as on our grant request. And the grant request went through the LB 840 Economic Development Committee, and they recommended to grant NNDC for the amount of $20,000. As far as a little bit of the history, I don't know if all of the council members were on the council when I think it initially started a year or two ago, when we initially were approved for a grant request for a $15,000 grant to do a marketing blueprint study. NNDC contracted with Golden Shovel Agency to do that, and what it did was really gave NNDC a blueprint of things to implement to really redesign image, awareness, and presence of NNDC for the community in the area as far as economic development, recruiting businesses, the member businesses, giving them more as far as services that we could provide to them as far as marketing, media, things of that nature. And so based on that blueprint with the Golden Shovel Agency and what it recommended was how we got to this request for this additional amount. And so what this request would do for NNDC is to redesign, launch, and host a website. That was the first thing that they recommended as far as NNDC should do to increase the public awareness, any new possible businesses, things of that nature. Hope is with the redesign of the website and contracting with Golden Shovel Agency is who the organization determined would be the best route forward, because that's who did the blueprint. That's who we determined as far as the knowledge with doing that blueprint and doing the website redesign. We thought that would be the best fit going forward with creating the website, hosting it, and providing what's called a gatekeeper service is what they termed it. And so what that does is they will redo the website, and then they'll actually host that for us, the organization, and then they'll actually do help with some of the marketing, creation of content, update the website. And so that's as far as our request, it's a 2-year request. And so each year is approximately $10,000 for website and the gatekeeper service. And so that's really what the request comes down to. And so I didn't know if there was any questions that I could hopefully answer. And
Now, in some of this, I picked up that we're working with Dawes County Tourism somewhat, not a whole lot, but somewhat to promote tourism as
Yes,
an
and so
economic tool.
And so through working with Golden Shovel, they identified the chamber and the Dawes County Travel Board as other associations or local agencies, essentially, that the NNDC could partner with and help utilize resources, share the resources between those two different, the chamber as well as travel board, as far as sharing resources to help increase awareness of what NNDC does and help partner to increase the awareness and hopefully as far as I think it identified a lot of the overlap between the organizations that could be utilized to help NNDC going forward.
You mentioned that the website hadn't been updated since 2014, and there weren't many hits on that website. So is that marketing portion of Golden Shovel, is that well, I mean, once they get a new website, how do people know to then go to the website? Is that the marketing portion of what
Yes.
they suggest?
So, yeah, there was a lot of different components to the blueprint. It's a pretty big document. I don't have, as far as the firsthand knowledge that Deb does, as far as what exactly they've identified as ways to increase that social media as well as the marketing component. But that is first step is the website, and then Golden Shovel will help to increase the social media as well as the marketing of NNDC and really the area as a whole.
Well, it interests me. Social media I'm not too big on because I have too much to do to mess around with my social media, but I know a lot of people substantially younger than I am use it a lot, so. So, any other questions? If not, the hour being 6:13, we'll close this public hearing
Thank you, Drew.
and move on
Thank you.
to item E.
I'd like to introduce Resolution 2025-24 and moves for its approval.
I'll second that.
Motion by Mark, seconded by Kevin, to approve application, Resolution 2025-24, to approve the application submitted by the Northwest Nebraska Development Corporation for LB 840 to Economic Development Funds to contract an economic development marketing firm to deliver a new website design, build and host that website, and provide full-service marketing assistance for a 24-month period. And the amount is in the amount of $20,000. Any questions? If not, could we have roll call, please?
Anderson,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Shepherd,
Yes.
Graves,
Yes.
Alexi.
Yes.
Okay. Item F.
Item F. I'll introduce Resolution 2025-25 and move for its approval.
I'll second.
Motion by Shane, second by Clay, approve resolution 2025-25 to approve the 5311 funding application for the city transit program for fiscal years July 2025, June to June 2026, and July 2026 to June 2027. And Julie is here with our, to explain what's in
Are
front
we
of us.
ready?
Yes.
A funny thing happened on my way here to this council meeting, and I lost my hearing aid in my right ear, and my left one's dead, so if I don't answer properly, I apologize. I can't hear. Okay, I'm going to rely on Tom, too, on this, if you don't mind, Tom, with the budget, because this is a whole full, new format that they threw at us, and it's been a project and a half. This is a 2-year, should I wear? Oh, yeah, okay. So this is a 2-year budget for 26, 27. So the figures that you see, well, they're individual on the printouts that you have. I think you have the color copies in your packet there. Basically, overall, the budget was just 3%, added 3% across the board in raising the amounts, with the exception of adding a new bus for 26. We got a new van this year. It's outside if you guys would like to see it, take a ride, or whatever you want to do. George already had the opportunity to look at it closely. He wouldn't get in the wheelchair, though. So anyway, so that the largest amount is that bus, which should be $120,000 for a new one. And if we ordered it now, we probably would get it in 3 years, is my guesstimation. That's how long it takes. They are looking to find, I guess, another outlet to purchase them. But right now, they have one that you go through, because we ordered our van 2 years ago, or 2.5 years ago. So basically, like the large amount on the budget itself is the bus. The salaries were all bumped up to the $15 a rate for 26, which is the going hourly rate. And the rest of the salaries taken in consideration are 3%. And again, supplies, the gas, the maintenance, and all that. You know, we never know what's going to go wrong with the vehicles, but I think we're caught up on everything with maintenance, because we got tires, we got new batteries, we've had the wheelchair lifts fixed, which is expensive. So I'm praying for the next 4 years, 5 years, we won't have to worry about that expense, but we have a budget in there to carry some. I guess that's it in a nutshell. Tom, am I missing something?
No, but I gotta give Julie and her crew credit, because this is a brand-new format that the DOT is doing to our transit. They've added a lot more forms, a lot more calculations, wanting to have better ideas of where the funding is. And with the budget itself, it does explain what particular items have the capability of being, for an example, just the non-operating services. 80% of it is federal funded. That's the very top part of it. And 10% is state funded, but then 10% comes from the city for these processes. So they're wanting to break all these things out, and it was quite a task, because we've never had to do anything quite like this before. And I know Julie spent many hours on it. Michelle, Jen, everybody added to this. Bev, multiple times where things was not working right. With it even being so new, the state couldn't even pull up some of the things that they said that they should be able to pull up, and they weren't able to do it. So, I mean, it was very touch and go through the whole process. But like Julie said, they're looking at it from their calendar year and not necessarily our fiscal year. So when you see the 26, that's the state's fiscal calendar year of 26. Ours is a little different than theirs, but you know, I think what they're proposing just gives us an idea of what we can anticipate from the federal government and from the state-funded things as of right now. And it could change tomorrow if the federal government decides to do something different, or the state government decides to do something different. But we had to present something to them, and this is what we came up with.
Couple things, couple things I forgot to add. I'm working with Walmart, and they are looking to install a bus stop bench that they will probably pay a good portion of it, and we have some monies that the state will pay, allowing the customers where they sit at Walmart waiting, because that is our busy place. We're back and forth all the time there. And secondly, I put in enough to look into getting a carport cover for the 3 vehicles over here to keep them from, not getting sun or weathered or whatever, if that's doable. I haven't actually sat down with Tom to say, hey, can we do that? But I just put the monies in there just in case we can do that. And what we're doing is we're parking the minivan between the 2 buses so nobody will hurt it. So put that over there. But I talked to Adam with Walmart, and he's pretty positive on, it's a plus and it's a win-win. We even think that we've got to look at a Walmart bus because our drivers are going from east to west constantly, back and forth. Once they drop that shopper off, they go get a call there to go to the clinic, and the other one's calling, well, I'm done already, so we'd like to get a Walmart bus. So, and we have had a couple of people picked up in the new van. There was some concern of a couple of wheelchairs that may not make it because the tracking wasn't wide enough. But works fine. So we're happy with that. Want to ride, George, in a wheelchair?
No, I went out there
I'll
before
pass
the,
today.
I went out there before the meeting. It's a nice bus.
Did you get in the wheelchair?
No, I
See how
did
it
not.
goes?
I did not.
Your dad doesn't use, he
No.
just uses a lift, right?
Yeah, no, not yet.
Not yet?
Not
Okay.
yet, yeah.
Yeah, very, very nice van. Quite frankly, I was surprised at how the operator has to wiggle around to secure the wheelchair in there. It's not an easy task.
Moving around.
It is made for a leprechaun instead of the driver that we had.
We have extra straps that we ask the wheelchair, the people with the wheelchair to put on there that we can actually secure as well. And NDOT, I have training on Wednesday, and they needed a location to do some training, so we're going to have it in the conference room. But they also asked my drivers to show up, and they're going to do, it's called advanced wheelchair placement, and they're going to work with each one of them in installing the wheelchair in the bus as well as the van. So that's on Wednesday. So that'd be exciting, because they said the guy was just in a class not too long ago, and he's from the east, and listen, got to work, didn't secure the wheelchair tipped when he turned a corner, and they don't know about the rider, if he'll survive or not. So, gets down secure, right? So, any question?
Okay.
Okay.
Could we have a roll call, please, on,
Anderson,
Yes.
Klein,
yes,
Shepherd.
Yes.
Graves,
Yes.
Alexi.
Yes.
okay. And then, a closely related thing, we have
I'll introduce, yeah.
G, item G.
Yeah, I'll introduce resolution 2025-26 and move for its approval.
I'll second.
Motion by Shane, seconded by Clay for resolution number 2025-26, which is to approve 5311 grant funding recertification for the City of Chadron Transit Program. And it's part of this, there's a part of the 5311 funding application process for the city transit programs. There are multiple certifications that are required to accompany the application, and that's what resolution 2025-26 is about. Anyone have any questions about that? Complying with civil rights and various other aspects involved in grants. So, if there are no questions, will we have roll call, please?
Anderson,
Yes.
Clay, I'm sorry, Klein.
Yes.
I was going, Shepherd,
Yes.
Graves.
Yes.
Alexi.
Yes.
Okay, moving on to item H.
I'll introduce resolution 2025-27 and move for its approval.
second.
Motion by Clay, seconded by Kevin for resolution number 2025-27, which is to recommend a consultant for services in connection with future airfield development projects at Shatter Municipal Airport. In addition to the city manager and Janet, one of our council members was involved in that. So maybe you want to explain what went on in your...
Yes, Clay, you can explain it. And you can even wear the glasses. Now that we know they flash.
Oh, I didn't even know that. I don't
We met on the 10th, and we had 3 consultants supply statements of qualifications. One was H.W. Lochner, another was MC Schaff, and the final one was Olson. After we reviewed each application, it was pretty close between Olson and MC Schaff, but Olson has been proven a good quality consultant for us over the years, and so we've decided to continue with their business.
One of the main difference between the other 2 consultants and MC Schaff was the type of airport runways that they do. They're asphalt, and of course our runways are concrete. So that's one of the biggest differences. And Olson has been our engineers for 20 years. So, and they've done us a good job, so we just decided to stick with them.
Any questions for Clay or Janet?
And Tom and Scott were the other 2 people on the selection committee.
If not, could we have roll call, please?
Well, I think, did you have a question?
I was just gonna say sounds like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Is that-
That's exactly was the consensus of the committee.
Okay. Could we have roll call, please?
Anderson,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Shepherd,
Yes.
Graves,
Yes.
Alexi.
Yes.
And I believe you probably pass these back to Mark. Thank you.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the claim list that totals $297,613.61. We have 2 lists to vote on. You help me out,
Oh,
son.
yeah. You, I'll second that.
That's what Buddy Holly said to, I forget the other guy, the guy when he was playing at the, one of his concerts. Help me out, son. Oh, you seconded it?
Yep, seconded,
Okay.
yep.
I made a motion, Shane seconded, to approve the claims in the amount of $297,613.61. Does anyone have any questions? I did notice that there was the waterworks, there was kind of, if I remember the invoice, said it says supplies for a year from Vulcan Industries in the amount of $17,494.39. Apparently, there are parts in the stair screens that wear out quite frequently.
Right, and that's the thing is that with Vulcan on their things, first of all, it takes a long time to get a lot of their supplies in here. And when they tear down that piece of equipment, it's one of those things that it is dealing with the stair screen. For those that have been out to the wastewater plant, it steps the waste up to the compactor. And when they tear that apart, it's generally an 80 to about 120 hours worth of work on something like that. And needs to have all the parts there when we're doing it. And so unfortunately, it's very expensive to have it, but once they get it put together again, then it runs for an extended period of time again, depending on what we have. So,
Any other questions on the claims? If not, could we have roll call, please?
Anderson,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Shepherd,
Yes.
Graves,
Yes.
Alexi,
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the claim from Shane Shepherd in the amount of $651.39 related to the travel for he and Mark to the Midwestern Conference, Midwinter Conference in Lincoln that we just attended.
I'll second.
Motion by me, seconded by Clay to approve that. Any questions about that claim? If not, could we have roll call, please?
Anderson,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes.
Shepherd,
Abstain.
Graves,
Yes.
Alexi,
Yes.
Okay, public comment. Anyone wishing to address the council on a matter not on this agenda may do so. Individuals are allowed a total of 3 minutes to speak. I keep waiting for the people and the kids in the government class to come up and tell us how wonderful of an instructor Mr. Nobling is.
He's a good instructor. He teaches a lot. During the class, you sit there and you're like, gosh, this just drags on and on and on. But at the end of the day, you go home and you know way more than what you did before. We just got done with our attendance and all that, and yeah.
Very good. Okay, city manager report.
thank you, Mayor. I just have two things. I want to just remind the council that we're going to be doing the updates for our audio and video stuff here starting on Wednesday. We hired a local person, Jeff Wing, that's going to be able to do new cameras, new computer work, just different things in here to try to get things working a little bit better. We're going to update some of our TV screens, different things that we have, trying to make it easier. Everything that's going to be going up on the screens, for an example, will be sent out to the public so that they see what we're looking at too as well. Trying to get it updated, so hopefully this will last us 20, 25 years down the road as we do it. Problems with the mics, hopefully are going to be resolved as we're looking at different stands and different mic technologies. So that's one thing that we're going to have working on and being completed. And then the second thing I just wanted to point out was the swimming pool, the therapy heater. I know that I sent out a couple of the emails to the council and several people that have asked. Just wanted to remind people, we had anticipated that the heater would be in sooner. It was delayed by 2 days, for an example. Part of the things that when it got here, it was damaged. We had to determine what parts and pieces we could use in the heater itself to do that. I got to give credit to Janet, Sydney, the staff. I think Sam from the water was up there, Tori was up there. They were having to do a lot of fly-by-night repairs on this to get it going. Fortunately, they were able to get everything up and put together by Friday, and I got their email or text message from Janet on Sunday or Saturday afternoon saying that the pool was up functioning properly. So, but my biggest thing is like I said, I'm giving kudos to the staff for what they had to deal with. I know it's a lot of things that the general public doesn't see. It's just like if you turn on your faucet and there's no water, they don't know why, but they just want it. And it's the same thing with the therapy pool. It is one of those things, they've worked extremely, extremely hard trying to do those kind of things. And just letting the council know that they got it going and running again, and hopefully everybody will get back into the swing of stuff.
So you mentioned that the parts when they came in, part of them were damaged.
Yes.
from dropping it, or did company ship that?
You know, the
Bad
thing
stuff?
is, when Janet was up there looking at some of those things, there were some heating blocks or ceramic bricks inside there that
It-
was moved from one side to the other side.
As near as we can figure is something was dropped on top of it, and it wasn't, none of the components were damaged. The outer case was bent in, so, and then the fire brick had been somehow bumped out of where it was supposed to be. So Sam and Bobby took the outer frame off, put the fire brick where it was supposed to be, and it wasn't damaged. I was afraid that's why we had to take it apart. I was afraid that the fire brick would be cracked, and if that was the case, we wouldn't have been able to use the unit. But it was not, so they put the fire brick where it was supposed to be. It sits in a kind of a carriage, a tracking, and they put it back where it was supposed to be. It was a like-for-like switch on units, and there was the front panel that we took off the old one and put it on the new one. And other than that, there were a couple other pieces that just needed to be bent back to where they needed to go. So nothing was damaged other than that front panel.
So we're talking to the supplier and
Yes, we are.
shipping
Yes, we
company?
are.
Okay.
Yep. And the other thing too, I think they had to replace some piping too. That was
Yeah, there was,
corroded and/or-
yeah, the piping on the new one was slightly higher than where it was, so that took another half a day till they had to change out some of the piping.
Repipe it. So even though we ordered the exact same model with the same dimensions, same everything else, it still didn't go back in there as you would expect.
It was, yeah,
You tear it out
they had
and
to
put
neck
right
it up
back
just
in
a
there.
little bit, but
So, and it's a process for that, and I just want the council to understand, the staff is doing a lot of good things on this, and it's being done by the staff. We're not asking a service tech to come in here to do that stuff. Now, the service tech was advising us on different things, depending on what we had to
Yeah.
do or whatever else, but the staff was doing the majority of the heavy lifting on this project.
Dustin was on the phone a couple times with
Just wanted to
Sam,
make
so-
sure that we keep going, but like I said, we're getting better at what we're doing, and the staff just keeps improving, and I give kudos to them for doing that.
And just know that those boilers, they only last 7 or 8 years, so we got the full value out of the boiler that we replaced. And knowing that the boiler that went down, it wasn't heating at 100% because we were at 91 degrees in less than 12 hours. And it was at 70, either 74 or 75 when the water was either at 74 or 75 when we turned the boiler on. So it was up to 91 in less than 12 hours.
And the other thing is Sydney was also communicating through the media, posting it up on the signs, letting people know what was going on. We did everything we could to let everybody know what was going on, and I don't know if we had many concerns about it, but I'm sure there was somebody that said something. So we're doing better on getting communications out there to let everybody know, but I'm sure we're still missing a few.
Thank you.
That's all I
Very
have.
good.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, council closing comments. I failed to note that we didn't need a resolution to excuse any of the council members since they're all here, but we'll start with Clay on our council closing comments.
First off, just wish everyone a happy and safe St. Patrick's Day. Hope the police department has a quiet night. Then I just want to welcome Dustin Tigas. I know he left already, to the street department. Hope everything works out well for him and for the street department. And congratulate Olson on continuing to be our airport consulting firm. That's all I've got.
Okay, thank you. Regarding St. Patrick's Day, I feel that, St. Patrick's, we have St. Patrick's Church here in Chadron, the Catholic Church. And St. Patrick was actually a native of England, and some people captured him and they took him to Ireland, and his job was to herd sheep. And then he later on got back to England, and I forget the rest of the story, so. But it's fairly interesting, you look it up. High school play, Legally Blonde, the kids put in an awful lot of work. I probably didn't appreciate the songs as much as I should have, but they put in an awful lot of work to put that together. I could tell that. And, congratulations on the Open Frontier Creative District on their $100,000 grant.
My turn. I as well went to that play. It was a great play. Long, 2 hours, but it was. It's always nice to support those things, because if you don't support them, the interest goes down in them. But I'd also like to remind everyone there's a green gala this weekend, 6 to 9 at I believe it's the Shadron Arts Center. Yeah, for Keep Shadron Beautiful. If anyone is interested. And also, I'd like to just give Janet and Tom a big thanks. I know we got a lot of projects coming up that they've been working hard on, and then we have hiccups with the pool and stuff, but just want to point out they're pretty slam behind the scenes. Go.
I just noticed in the fire department report that one of my daughter's classmates, McKinley Fuller, got on the fire department. So I like seeing the younger people getting on the fire department. It's a good organization. It took me a couple years to get on, but I see there's some openings. So if kids your age, well, I guess maybe you're a little too young, but 18 or older can certainly apply to get on the fire department. It's a good organization. Also, since Julie was here with the city transit, I'm glad as a city that we can offer something of that nature. I think it's important for us to take a look at the needs of the community, and I think transportation is one of those needs, and we only have to pay a certain percentage, which is fairly small, of the total cost of it. So I'm glad that we can provide that to the community.
I'm going to sound like a broken record. I too went to the high school musical, and it was a great time. I'm always impressed with the quality of the work that our staff and students at the high school do in producing those type of live theater live theater productions. I also a week or two prior went to the musical that was up at CSC. Also a really great production, and just want to recognize how lucky we are in a rural area like Shadron and Dawes County to have great live theater, live entertainment like that. I always look forward to the Post Playhouse each summer as well. That's a little bit more on the professional end of the spectrum, but we've got some great talent here in Shadron that folks can see and support anytime. I also just wanted to extend a thanks to Tom and the city departments. I did get to visit with several of them last Friday. Had a day off from work and got to do that. And we went to the streets department, the water, the wastewater, the airport, the parks department, and the PD. And I'm just impressed and pleased to see the level of dedication, the level of efficient working, and I was impressed by how much these departments work together in and among each other just to get the job done for Shadron. And kind of as Tom was mentioning with the pool, there's a lot of talent in our city departments, in our city staff. A lot of that work that may in a different city might have to be outsourced to different service organizations. We are able to do that in-house. So I was very impressed and appreciated the tour from those city departments.
Yeah. Nothing else? I make a motion, we adjourn.
Second that.
Motion by me, seconded by Shane. Good could we have a roll call, please?
Anderson,
Yes.
Klein,
Yes,
Shepherd,
Yes.
Graves,
Yes.
Alexi.
Yes.
we are adjourned.